Welcome, everybody. This is Andy from Rapid Gun Systems. Thanks for joining us today for the fourth of our series of 5 webinars that we're doing through the month of May and the first week in June. Today's topic is going to be working with kitting tools in Counterpoint. And today's presenters are Matt Collins, our CTO, and Nell Thompson, project manager. And 2 housekeeping matters. First, we want to enable people to ask questions as we go through the webinar. So if you go to the very bottom of your screen with your cursor, you'll see Q&A as one of the options, and you can type in a question at any time. Towards the end of the webinar, we'll have some time where we'll go through any questions that are received. If a question is really specific to your business, we may choose to follow up by email directly after the webinar. Second thing is that we are making a recording of the webinar, so you'll have access to that, and we'll distribute that by email and a copy of the presentation as well. With no further ado, let me introduce Matt and Nell and get started.
Thanks, Andy. Welcome everyone to the webinar. We're excited to have you and to really drill into this kitting and Counterpoint and how we can help you with your business. My name is Matt Collins. I'm the CTO here at Rapid POS. I've been with the company for just about 16 years and primarily on the programming team, but I also now have oversight of the help desk as well. So over to you, Nell.
Thanks, Matt. And I'm Nell Thompson. I am a project manager here at Rapid for just over 4 years now. All right, so first up on our agenda is why we're going to use sales kits and or bills of material. Then we're going to jump into just an introduction of kits in general, both sales kits and bills of material. We'll get into Counterpoint, do a live demonstration, take some questions, and talk through some next steps.
Good. So why do we want to use sales kits and or bills of material? First, obviously, we can do it as a marketing promotion tool to engage our customers more. We can use it as an upselling tool once the customer's in the store. They can be used to simplify the checkout process, making it easier for our cashiers to ring up tickets. They also show a level of business sophistication that portrays a good image to your customers before they even set foot in your store. In the current environment with this pandemic that we're dealing with, gives us an ability to provide a kitted or packaged solution with some added value for our customers.
All right.
And so now we get into a discussion of, okay, sales kits and bills of materials. They're separate things with many similarities, but some very distinct uses that for different business use cases. We'll go into some of the details here. We know this is a lot of information, and so you'll get a copy of this presentation and you'll be able to look back through and pause and really study in on some of these details, but we'll just touch on several of these at a high level, and then as we get into the live demo, some of these we'll flesh out as well. So one of the primary factors in choosing here whether we want to do a sales kit or a bill of material is, what do I want to show on the screen and what do I want to show the customer on their receipt? And so if we want to show them less detail about the package, I want to just sell them a packaged finished good, then we're likely going to pursue a bill of material. If I want to show them the package and everything it includes, then we're looking at sales kits. And we have a few different types of sales kits to be able to package all those products a little bit differently, with little differences between them. So we have 3 types of sales kits, and again, we'll go into detail on these: a tag-along, a group tag-along, and miscellaneous. And Nell's going to share a little bit about some of the differences between them.
Yep. So they are mostly similar with just some slight nuance differences. Really where that comes in is, quantity price being modified on certain component items, and whether you want to see, the price pulled from the parent item distributed among component items, or even set conditions on these. And we'll actually get in and take a look at this.
Good. Let's switch to a demo. And the first thing we'll do is we'll just we'll show you the behavior in touchscreen to really illustrate the differences between them before we go touch on the setup side for the more technical aspect.
All right, so our first kit that we're going to look at is going to be a tag-along kit. And this starts out with a 100-yard range. So Matt, I take it you're going for an hour?
Yep, we'll do 1 hour on the 100-yard range. Okay, so we see a tag-along kit in addition to the range time. We had a target and some eyes and ears as tag-along items. So I see we've got 2 targets on there, and those were free targets because I signed up for range time. What if I need more targets? Can I just change the quantity on that target line?
So there's a couple different ways to do this. One thing we could do is we could set up an alternate unit on here, one where it is a free and one where it is a price, and we can just go in and increase our quantity. In this particular case, we have set this up just as a free target so we can track the free ones. So let's see here. We've got an NRA target that we can add to the ticket.
Okay, so additional targets on this one, we would just add a separate line item. So that's good. What if I brought my own eye and ear protection?
So that is one of the good things about a tag-along kit is we can take things off. So in this case, we'll just go ahead and void the line.
Good. Okay, so we didn't have to pay the rental fee on that. That's good. So that's a tag-along kit. Can you show me a group tag-along kit?
Yep. Let's look at a Glock that you're buying. Let me go with this serial number here. Did you want a 3-year warranty?
Yes, let's add the warranty for the Glock.
How about a gun case?
Yes, please.
Okay. Box of ammo?
No, thank you. I've got plenty of ammo.
All right.
Okay, so group tag along. It looks like these items, different from the one above it, these items are a little bit indented. Why are they showing that way?
So all of these component items, the handgun warranty and the gun case, are both grouped to the parent item. So we can't change the quantity or the price of these components that are linked to this Glock 43.
Okay. Adding the warranty to a firearm is good. Can we use the same warranty item as a component in other kits?
Yes. So one item can be a component of many kits. There is no restriction on using the same component on multiple kits.
Okay. And that warranty, I see it as a line item. What item type is that configured as? And is it impacting my inventory figures?
Good question. So with component items, they can be any item type. In this case, our warranty is set up as a service item. So no quantity is tracked in inventory, but you can look at sales reporting.
Good. Okay. So let's try our third type. Let's try a miscellaneous kit.
All right. So that's going to be your dads and grads package.
Okay, good. I see we've got 25-yard range, an additional shooter, a rental, 2 gun rentals, some 9mm ammo. Oh, and eyes and ears. Okay, well, what if I brought my eyes and ears on this one?
So in this case, this is a set package and includes eye and ear protection in the promo. So this can't be removed from the package. You'll notice it is included within that set $79.99 price.
Okay, good. And similar to the group tag along, I see the component items are indented, but looking out to the right, none of the component items have a line item price. Why is that?
So with miscellaneous sales kits, these are one kit where the price is set on the parent and distributes to all of the component items.
Okay, so a package price versus individual items that are tagged along behind it.
You got it.
Okay, great. Well, let's tender this and see how it looks on the receipt.
All right, we do have a firearm in here, so we'll get our Nextros in there. Ah, of course, we got to have a real customer on here, so let's go.
Can't sell a firearm to the walk-in customer.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at our receipt.
Good. So very similar layout to the touchscreen where our regular line items are all lined up. For our components, we see some indented values. Good. And then for the miscellaneous kit, we don't show any of the component prices down below, so that's nice.
You got it.
We've got our totals and tax. Everything looks good.
Yep.
Okay, so now that we've done a quick demo in touchscreen, let's go take a look at the setup of the kits.
All right, and to do that, we'll get into inventory and sales kits. This is where all of it is set up. And we'll take a look at our first one.
Okay, so we have a kit type there. It's grayed out because we've set it up already, and then it becomes a static value. So that's our tag-along kit. And here we've just defined the kit item, the items that will tag along when we sell this parent. And we have the option to include the parent or not.
We do.
And what does that do for us?
What that does is it shows that bolded line item, and for some cases you may want to have that line item so it removes from inventory, but it may not need to be something that the customer sees. It might just be a way of grouping the items internally in the system.
Good. Let's take a look at our next group tag along item. Okay, so group tag along, obviously our kit type there shows group tag along. Individual items are listed out, and we could set the quantity on each item as well. But on this one, we have a little required checkbox that wasn't present on the tag along. Why is that field there?
So with tag-along items, as we saw, we can update quantity or remove the tag-along items. When it comes to a group tag-along, these are tied directly to that parent item. So we get to decide whether they are required or not required.
Okay, so required item, we have to have it when the group tag along is sold, and then optional items that are not required, we could optionally take those off of the ticket if the customer doesn't want them.
You got it.
Okay, good. And then you have a prompt there as well, and that, I believe, is the question that comes up for the cashier when they sell this item, to give them a yes or no option to add the item to the ticket.
Exactly. The yes or no shows up automatically, and ultimately it's just the question that goes in the prompt field.
Good. Let's switch then to our miscellaneous kit. Okay, so for our miscellaneous kit, the include parent is always checked and grayed out. You can't change that because we're selling the parent, we're selling the package, and so we can't remove that guy. But we also lost those couple options at the bottom for the required items and the prompt. Why is that?
So again, with the miscellaneous package, it is the price is set on the parent item, and everything else just distributes to the component items. Think of it as spending a certain amount and you get all of it, whether you use it or not.
Great. Okay, so let's go switch and take a look. We'll go back to our bills of material and do some comparison against kits.
Of course. So when it comes to bills of material, the first thing we'll end up doing is similar to sales kits. We're going to build out our recipe or our bill of materials. So in this case, we are creating our Anderson AM15 kit. Notice it does not include a lower, and we cannot include firearms within our bills of material. That's just because when we do put everything together, it is taken out of inventory, and with firearms, we do need that customer information like we saw earlier in touchscreen.
Good, and I think that's a very key point on the difference between sales kits and bills of materials. When a sales kit is sold, the parent and the components are all taken out of inventory at the time of sale. When a bill of material is made, it gets pre-assembled. All of the component products are taken out of inventory. The finished good is put into inventory, and that's all that's in inventory available to sell. It is a finished product item, and none of the components exist any longer because they've been consumed into that parent bill of material item. And so, to your point, Nell, that's why we can't have firearms as components in bills of material, because that firearm during the assembly process would have to be taken out of inventory. And so we don't know who we're disposing to at that point. We wouldn't be able to write the disposition to the bound book. So that's why we can't use bills of material with firearms.
You got it. And so with our step 2 of bills of material here, we can decide how many of these we're assembling. So you will notice our unit quantity, if we wanted to assemble one, we would use just one of these. Because we are assembling 2, our total quantity is updated here to 2. Okay, and it would update just based on how many of our final product we were assembling. All right, so let's look at how this looks on touchscreen and on receipts. So looking at this, we'll see that there is just one line item for the Anderson AM15 kit. Now, if you were selling this with a lower, this would be the time to add that to the ticket with the serial number. You'll have the customer information on the ticket. Otherwise, it would just be this kit, and you can see on the receipt, all we see is the one line item, which is our finished product.
Good. So that really drives home the point of, on any of our sales kits, we're going to see the parent and all of the components listed, and depending on type, the price may or may not show on the receipt. But here, doing a bill of material, all those components have been consumed. Just that bill of material parent item lives, and so that's all we're going to see on the receipt. The customer is not going to know the 2 or 5 or 15 things that went into that kit. They just know it's a single package that they're buying.
Got it. All right. Any questions?
I'll remind everybody that you can ask questions on the bottom of the screen. Just go to the Q&A and start typing in. I got a couple of questions here. The first thing was, if your kit is a mix of taxable and non-taxable items, can you use the bill of materials, and how would it treat them?
Great question. So for bill of materials, since we're just selling the single finished product, we don't have a way to say, of those components I put into the bill of material, I know 40% are taxable and 60% are non-taxable, and now calculate my taxation based on that. The bill of materials either all the way taxable or all the way not, just based on the taxable flag on the item setup. That answer is a little bit different when we get back into some of the sales kits. The miscellaneous kit taxation would behave just like a bill of material where it's taxed just at the parent item level. But for tag-along and group tag-along, since those items are listed on the receipt and on touchscreen, they will take the individual item taxation.
Perfect. Another question. Can you talk about how kits might interact with promotions or special pricing? For example, if you have an item in the kit that's on a buy one, get one free, and you buy two, does it automatically track that promotional price?
Good question. And that ties back into the method of kit or bill of material as well. With a tag along, all those items are added separately onto the ticket, and so they would qualify for promotional or BOGO pricing. But with group tag along, miscellaneous kits, and bills of materials, promotional pricing would only apply to the parent item on any of those three.
When you're, another question, when you're doing a bill of materials assembly, is it possible to see in that assembly screen your available quantities of items so that you know you're assembling and have enough items to complete?
So yes, when you are going right into that assembly screen, it will show you the current available quantities of all of your components, as well as the total cost for your components, so you can calculate your price for the final parent accordingly.
Perfect. I don't see any more questions. If anybody has any, please, you've got a few minutes left. Happy to answer anything that you have. Move on to next steps.
So next steps. One of our questions tied nicely into this one. How do promotions and kits play well together? We did a webinar last week about setting up promotions in Counterpoint. And so being able to, you might want to go back and have a watch of that webinar and consider how kitting and promotions can work together.
All right. And then next up would be to analyze the performance of your kit. We do have a free webinar next week that's focusing on how to get better reports out of Counterpoint. And this is where you can really see how those parent items and components are selling.
Good. And lastly, one of the key things with any new thing to you is play around with it, use it, get comfortable with it. And so if you have a practice company in Counterpoint, dive right in and set up some kits and some bills of material and see how they can help you set up promotions and engage your customers in a new and fresh way. And if you don't have a practice company, you can reach out to us to help set that up. Or go ahead and set up your sales kits and your bills of material in your live company and get rolling. If you do struggle, if you are struggling with setting up kits, go ahead and reach out to us at rapidcares@rapidpos.com and schedule some one-on-one training or consulting time with us to help you out down this new path.
All right, well, listen, thank you everybody for attending today. We really appreciate you as customers. We want to continue to help you get a lot of value out of Counterpoint and Rapid Gun Systems. Recording of this will be distributed by email, a link to access that, and it'll be posted on our websites. So, and I look forward to seeing you at next week's webinar, which is going to focus on advanced reporting. It should be a lot of valuable content. So until then, have a great day.